In 2018, the United States Supreme Court ended a long-time ban on sports betting. Sports gambling and daily fantasy betting may have large economic benefits, but it comes at a major risk. With a huge percentage of both kids and adults consistently betting, it is important to look at the effect that gambling has on its users. Money wagering and a push toward winning often has its negative side effects. The money loss associated with wagering, paired with a bettor's desire to win, creates a cycle of negative betting strategies and behaviors. With the rise of accessibility in legal sportsbook, the economic output created by sports gambling has skyrocketed. Since the legislative overturning by the Supreme Court, major sportsbooks have brought in over $20 billion in revenue. Also, every year gambling itself brings in $261 billion to the United States economy. The industry that includes sports wagering is clearly beneficial to the American workforce, creating almost 2 million jobs. The economic capabilities of gambling and sports betting, although great, must be compared with the negatives of gambling. A 2002 survey that is indicative of United States adults found that 20% of the 2,630 adults had participated in some sort of sports gambling over the past year. This data is from over a decade before the rise of internet gambling, meaning that the already large percentage would have risen by now. While legal nationwide sports betting may be a new fad, gambling culture in the United States is deeply rooted, as are its negative effects. One of the many difficulties with sports gambling is the large number of bettors that become addicted. In Spain, a nation that legalized nationwide sports betting 8 years ago, a study of 500 gamblers over the past year showed the manner in which people get sucked into the gambling sphere. Of those studied, 16.2% were categorized as pathological gamblers, and another 13.2% were classified as problem gamblers. With almost 30% of all gamblers obtaining some level of an addiction, the nature of the action is very evident. There are similar negative effects brought on by advertisements with adults. Having a large amount of media surrounding the front of betting causes bettors to be more likely to continue wagering. Commercials pushing free bets and special competitions cause people to believe that they will make large sums of money through wagering. While that is true on rare occasions, the large advertised winnings are for the rare case and the ordinary sports wagerer loses money. Mental health issues, however, can be worked on. Besides natural recovery, which means slowly stopping by yourself, the main methods to help quit gambling are seeking self-help. Other options are available, but they are extreme and often unsuccessful. Cognitive therapy, one of these, is typically successful when treatments last for at least 6 to 9 months, which rarely occurs with patients with severe addictions. Even when treatment is available, the other negatives brought on by sports betting make quitting extremely difficult. Therapy is often unsuccessful due to the other addictions these individuals may have. Other than gambling problems, 73% of those that seek gambling addiction help are also impacted by a coexisting condition, being often mental health, alcohol, and drug abuse. With the legalization of sports betting, the need to discuss its negatives is enlarged. There is a clear association between individuals that gamble and future negative behaviors, starting from a young age. Internet-based gambling, along with American culture and advertising, produces easy gambling accessibility and a largely able population. The large sports gambling population, coupled with an easy platform, creates gambling-related issues, especially anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. With the enormous issues developed by the new mobile front for sports wagering, it is important to see the manners in which the issue can be fixed. One of the main causes for problem is the use of sports wagering among youth and its development into issues and further gambling. By tightening down on age-related laws and increasing awareness on youth wagering, there would be an extremely large benefit on both kids now and adults in the future. While telling kids not to gamble is helpful, not allowing them to is much more useful. Laws should be put in place to make sure underage individuals are unable to place bets or access sportsbooks. Furthermore, parents need to be stricter and more intensive on keeping their kids off any apps or sites that they might use to wager. Along with youth adjustments, there is a need to change advertising strategies. Currently, commercials give away free bets and money to lure people in. These initiatives should be cut down and further explained in order to limit the number of people that simply begin betting because it is free. Some of the main fault in the United States system for gambling-related issues, however, lies on the treatment end. Sports betting is a part of the U.S. and will continue to get larger over the coming years. With this, better tools to treat gambling addiction and related issues must be developed and easily accessible. Those that are problem gamblers need to receive some level of help rather than give their money away to corporations. Starting with the sportsbooks themselves, a third party should be in place to determine those that may suffer from levels of addiction and to offer them true help. Rather than unsuccessful and inaccessible, these groups and therapies should be open and easy to find for the individuals that desperately need them. When people have issues regarding sports betting, there needs to be a system on hand for treatment, not only for pathological sports gambling, but also for the other mental issues and substance abuse problems that stems from wagering addiction. Mobile sports betting in the United States is truly at its beginning. With only a small percentage of states open, however, the associated problems are easily recognized and have terrible consequences. It is highly probable that during this decade, mobile betting is legalized in all, if not most, of the U.S. With that most likely in the future, the plan that is currently in place for sportsbooks is unacceptable, and there is a clear path from free wagers to severe addiction. With the understanding that sports-related betting has helped build dozens of multi-billion-dollar companies, it is nothing if not fair to believe that legislation, practices, and eventual help can be put in place to help those that deeply suffer from many negatives.